What's going on, guys? It's Nick here, back with another fantasy football video. It's Monday, so time for another mock draft Monday. We've got a 10-team PPR from the 5 spot. I've been trying to do requests, but obviously mock draft Monday can only happen once a week. Therefore, I'm trying to make it 7 days a week. So Saturdays and Sundays are just going to be more of the mock drafts you guys request. And again, if your mock draft request isn't happening, you can put it in the comment section again, but like, I get so many that I can't do all of them. So trying to do 3 of them a week now. We'll see how that works. Tomorrow is going to be another player breakdown, and then the wide receiver rankings will be released on Wednesday. Thursday will be late round draft strategy. Fridays are always top 5 videos, but then that's it for rankings. So Wednesdays are now opened up. Not sure what I'm going to do for those. Haven't decided yet. We got 1 minute until this one starts, and I want to try and focus more on this one. I know I go off on tangents a lot, but now that you guys are really drafting, I want to try and make this a good mock draft. So actually remember that I took Jimmy Graham early and not take another tight end, and remember who I've taken, because these go really quick, and when I'm talking about people and then I realize it's my pick with 10 seconds left, it's tough. So I'm going to try my best to do this one legit. I'm going back to Fantasy Football Calculator on this one because it's the most accurate. However, on the 2 weekend ones, I think I'm going to do Yahoo and NFL, probably. Because I know you guys want me to do them on different sites. I know most of you use ESPN, but I'm going to do one on Yahoo and then one on NFL.com. Unfortunately, this one didn't fill up, but the computers pick pretty accurately since the site has an accurate ADP. So we'll see what happens. Antonio Brown, David Johnson, 1 and 2. So now I'm guaranteed, well, I was already guaranteed one of the big 5, well, big 6, but I was guaranteed to get Odell or Zeke, basically. Actually, this is PPR. It's really close. Let me know what you guys think. Odell or Julio in a PPR league, because we're not going running back in the top 6 unless, obviously, one of the big 3 falls to us. In standard, I think it's Odell. No question about it because of the touchdown upside. I mean, they could be 7 touchdown difference. This kid didn't even draft. But in PPR, I think that Julio's got a lot of upside. And I think it's Evan Silva. No, he retweeted something. There's a podcast I need to listen to on the Roto Underworld that talked about, I don't remember who they had on, but apparently it was a really good one, so I need to listen to that one. It was on Julio Jones. But as of right now, obviously we're taking a wide receiver here. As of right now, I have Julio ahead of Odell, so that's who I'm going to take here. I'm not sure I've drafted Julio in many of these mock drafts, because generally we've been doing either early or late. We haven't done too many in the middle. Second round, first 4 rounds are all about value, so we're not specifically targeting a running back or a wide receiver. But if we've heavily targeted one position, we're going to lean, if there's a tie, we're going to lean towards the other. It's kind of how I approach things. So we're good with Melvin, Freeman, DeMarco, Howard, and Ajayi. Then we see the cliff, basically, for the drop-off. So it would be nice to get one of those 5. Evans, Jordy, and Michael Thomas are who I see as the elite guys for wide receivers. So we're definitely going to get one of them. There's enough spots to where that's going to happen. So after me, it did go Odell, then LaShawn McCoy, then AJ Green. So that's basically exactly how drafts have gone. AB doesn't usually go first, but it was a computer. So we'll leave it at that. Then Melvin. So this is pretty much how a draft's been going. Mike Evans, okay. So there's 5 picks, well, 4 picks, no, 5. 5 picks until ours. 2 more of the wide receivers we like, and 4 more of the running backs we like. So we're going to get one of them. Who would I prefer? I'd like to get DeMarco. Recently, well, obviously Freeman. Okay, you can take DeMarco. Freeman would obviously be great, but he's not going to fall to us. I've moved DeMarco ahead of Jordan Howard, not Jay Ajayi. But I still I want to hear. I don't think we've heard anything yet about Ajayi's concussion. Before I'm going to draft him, like if I had draft right now, I would just not take him, to be completely honest. Because I want to know, everyone's different when they come back from concussions. And so it's difficult to be like, oh, he had like a minor concussion. Well, no, everyone comes back different. So coming from someone who's had concussions, they're not easy to come back from. So I'm not pumped about taking him in the early second as I was. Someone took him at 13, 14. So then it went Michael Thomas, Dez, Jordy. So do we actually get... Okay, we got Freeman. Nice. So Devonta Freeman's available. Jordan Howard's available. But it's easily Freeman. I have him ranked 11th overall, I think. You guys can download the rankings. Go to the website, thefantasyfootballadvice.com. For free, you can download our basic rankings. It says when it's been updated. But I did an update a few days ago on a few of them. And the ones I didn't update didn't change a ton. And I think actually after I upload, or actually I make this video, I'm going to update the wide receiver ones. So running back and wide receiver will be up to date if you guys want to check those out. If you want the premium rankings, a few of you have been getting that. Go to the website and check that out. It's got a lot more information than the basic rankings do. But that's enough said about that. We have one of each, so again, we can go value. I'd say if we took 2 running backs, we probably should be looking for a wide receiver, unless there's a super value at running back. But we've got Julio and we've got Freeman. So the running backs in this range who would actually fall to me, it would basically just be Crowell, who I'd be looking at. And then the wide receivers, Doug Baldwin would be huge to get. But it would be Doug Baldwin, Demaryius Thomas, and not ideal around that. So it's either going to be Baldwin or Crowell with this pick. It's going to be whoever doesn't get taken. Who would I prefer? That's tough. I actually don't know who I have ranked higher. Obviously, it depends on your team. Let's think about this. So in standard, you have to lean Crowell, I think, because of the value at that position. In PPR, though, Doug's going to be a really nice option. But again, you have in the back of your mind, I can find a lot of PPR guys. So I do have to make the call. Okay. You can find PPR at both positions, but it's obviously easier at wide receiver. Who's going to be left over we have to look at. It's going to be this range, which I'm not, like, horrified about. Man, that's a tough call. And I have 19 seconds to make it. Doug Baldwin, let me know in the comment section, because this is actually something that I've come to a lot, and I'll post it in the private chat probably. Have you guys talk about that. I'm going to lean Crowell just because running backs are tough to find one that you really like, and I really like Freeman and Crowell. And since there are so many wide receivers I love in the mid-range, I tend to not take running backs in the mid-range. So locking 2 up in the first 3 rounds is typically an ideal strategy. But getting Doug Baldwin right there where Team M got him near the end of the 3rd round, that's great. Great value. Aaron Rodgers and Gronk. Well, Gronk's fine in 3rd, but Aaron Rodgers is not a 3rd round pick. I'd say anywhere in like the late 4th. That's the earliest I would touch him, just because there's so many guys you can take, especially in a 10-team league. I mean, I'm going to end up with like the 12th best, like super late, unless people draft a bunch of them. So we've got Doug, Hopkins. Demaryius still on the board? No, you got to take him for me. I'm dropping, well, see Landry, I want to see the connection between him and Cutler, but I'm not pumped to take him anymore, especially his contract still hasn't been dealt with. I'll take Pryor. Watkins is better in standard. Golden Tate I really like. I would take Golden Tate in the 4th round. Running backs, Ty Montgomery's not a bad option. Joe Mixon's not a bad option. Woodhead would be more of like 5th round once you see Woodhead on. I feel like Joe Mixon's falling. Maybe it was, I know he had a little injury scare, but I think he's fine from that. McCaffrey, I'm not touching in standard, but this is PPR. He's fine. I'm not sure I'd go there just because I already have two, and I'm not pumped about him. I feel like Mixon and Montgomery are better picks. I think I have them both ranked higher. But we should probably lean wide receiver here if one of them is available. Someone took Pryor. I'm not pumped about any of these options though besides Golden Tate. So Allen Robinson's a decent value in the 4th round. But I think they go more run heavy for Allen Robinson. I like Sammy. Oh, Kelsey was still there. He just got taken, but I need to look more at tight end. Okay, so we got Sammy. We're not touching Alshon. He's always hurt. Sammy, Allen Robinson. I feel like Golden Tate we might be able to wait around. We'll wait. We'll wait for Golden Tate. So either Sammy Watkins, Allen Robinson. No, we should lock up. Let's get Joe Mixon. He's a stud. Let's get Joe Mixon because I really don't feel confident in a lot of running backs. Alright. I personally feel that Joe Mixon is better. He's obviously better than Jeremy Hill, obviously. But I think he's better runner than Jeremy Hill. And I think he's just as good at the receiving game as Bernard. So I think he's going to be their every down back. Is he going to get like 25 a game? No. But can he touch the ball 20 times a game? Sure. Yeah. And I'll take that as it'll be like a flex kind of fill in with Freeman and Crowell. But we should really lean wide receiver here. Watkins and Robinson both got drafted. Adams, Landry. Okay, so Ty Freak. Bryant is a much better standard play. So our pick. We're going to go with a wide receiver here. And I think it's Golden Tate. I think that's a pretty clear. Yeah. I have Golden Tate ahead of everyone on this list by, I think, a decently large margin. Golden Tate's being disrespected. I know it's 4th round in 12 team, so I guess that is roughly where he should be going, but perfectly fine. 5th round, I'll take him. Lean wide receiver again here. There's no quarterbacks. I can wait still on that. Olsen is interesting if Olsen falls. I don't think he will. I'm not touching Jordan Reed. Don't ever draft him. Jimmy Graham is fine, but we don't have to here. I would consider Greg Olsen. I would definitely consider him. We got my Crowder, Diggs, Snead coming around here, and Emmanuel Sanders, and Pierre Garçon, and Jeremy Maclin, and Eric Decker, all the guys I like. So, pick one. Okay. Do we take Greg Olsen? I really like Ebron. I'm going to wait. I don't need Greg Olsen. So, we're going to take a wide receiver here unless... how much time do I have? 16 seconds. Awesome. Yeah, we're going to take a wide receiver. Crowder's got the hamstring right now. I really have a lot of faith in Willie Snead. But I really like all of Crowder, Diggs, and Snead. Don't get me wrong. But I have a lot of faith in Willie Snead. I want to hear more about Crowder's hamstring before I'm going to go all in on him. But I still love the pick. One of my favorite picks. All those guys are like my favorite picks. Willie Snead, Crowder, Diggs, Tate, Sanders, Garçon, Maclin. You guys heard me say it right before this. Those are all guys I like to target. Almost got Crowder at the wraparound. So I'll take Diggs here, definitely. And someone actually asked me in a comment section, would I take Diggs over Larry? I would. I believe strongly in Diggs this year, and I believe I have him ranked ahead of Larry Fitz. Even though I'm perfectly fine drafting Larry Fitz, I just feel very confidently in Stephon Diggs. If I don't get Diggs, I'll still look for one of these wide receivers I like, I think. Someone took Greg and Jimmy Graham. We're still not looking quarterback until probably another round. Bly Powell's not a bad option here because his team blows and he's going to get a bunch of dump-offs. CJ Anderson, yeah, we'll take Diggs. In PPR, all of those guys that I just mentioned, Well, the Diggs, Crowder, Snead are all better in PPR. Sanders is fine in either. Garcon's better in PPR. Macklin's fine in either. Decker actually is preferred in standard. Tyrell's climbing, but we'll pay what it takes to get Tyrell as long as someone doesn't reach too far. Oh, it's my pick again. Okay, so this is our team. We got Julio, Golden Tate, Willie Snead, Stephon Diggs, Devonta Freeman, Crowell, Mixon. We'll look running back. PPR, that's not ideal. Terrence West in the next round, or Mark Ingram now. We'll put them, no. We'll put them up there. Gosh, there's not enough time. 12 seconds. We're going to go with Emmanuel. I think Emmanuel is being disrespected this year as well. Shouldn't be going this late. Someone posted, again, in the private chat, they said, what's the difference between Demarius and Emmanuel? And I said, not much. To be completely honest, there's not much of a difference. Ingram went. That's unfortunate. I think we might take Terrence West here. But I still, this is why I think that decision, Crowell needs to be ranked ahead of Baldwin now that I think of it. Because, like, look at my wide receivers. I mean, Golden Tate, Willie Snead, Stephon Diggs, Manuel Sanders. Like, and I'm going to get one of these guys probably. Should I wait? I can take Duke. No, I should take Terrence West. I'm going to take Terrence West and hope Tyrell's there in the next round. Because, not that Terrence West is, like, any good, but he's fine, and he's going to get the ball early. Like, they're not going to pound the rock with Woodhead. I think Woodhead's a great pick, but I'm going to pound the rock with them. So we don't need... Jaquiz isn't bad here. Duke's not bad here. Well, hopefully they're available in the next round. But we got to lock up my favorite pick in the entire draft right now, Tyrell Williams. Absolutely the steal of the draft. Getting him as late as he's going. He's climbing, but he needs to be going... Even in a 10-team... Ninth he should be going in. 8th is probably pushing it. So I would say 9th round, 10-team league, which makes it what, like 10th, 11th round in 12-team? I even think that. I think 8th round even in a 10-team, you can take him in. I want people to pump the brakes a little bit on Quincy until we hear about his neck injury. I think he suffered a neck injury, and he's already had a neck injury. I was never, like, super high on him, but we got to pump the brakes a little bit. We've still got a ton of options at quarterback. I think we can wait another round. We could probably wait another round on tight end, but I like Ebron a lot. So unless there's a wide receiver that's just Kenny Britt, it'd be Kenny Britt, Ebron, or Duke and Rogers are both good picks in this range. I already have that. It's a tough call. I think I'm just going to lock up Ebron. I like Ebron a lot this year. I think positive touchdown regression. You have one last year or something? With Bolden gone, he's going to get more looks. Oh, they took... Okay, I didn't see Jaquiz. Yeah, someone took Jaquiz. So, running backs is just a wasteland now. I mean, obviously there's the PPR guys, but we can wait. They'll still be there. You guys know who I'm talking about. Kenny Britt is still available. Josh Doxson, but I think like earlier today he was on the cart or something, so I don't know what happened there. Tyrod or Kenny Britt at this point. Everyone already has a quarterback ahead of me. I don't think they would take one. So I'll take Kenny Britt and we'll risk it. Let's see who the team is. So wide receivers, we got Julio Jones, Golden Tate, Willie Snead, Stephon Diggs, Manuel Sanders, Tyrell Williams, Kenny Britt. Could not be happier with that. Devonta Freeman, Crowell, Mixon, Terrence West for running backs. We need another running back. Probably went too many wide receivers. But we're going to wait again. Why does... The computer always simulates multiple quarterbacks in here. It's like it's a one quarterback league. Never take two quarterbacks in a one quarterback league. It's the worst decision you can make. Tyrod, fine with that. I would have even been fine. I didn't actually see that Dak was still on the list. I probably should have taken him. But I really like Tyrod this year. Super high on him. This, you would have to take running back and defense, but I'm not going to because I never would if I was actually drafting this league. I would just take 2 more running backs and then we'll figure it out once the season starts who to drop. So I'm going to take Alvin Kamara here. I think he's going to basically fill the Darren Sproles role. So if 2 guys get hurt or underproduce, I think he can be an option just to throw in there at the running back 2 spot and just get some points. Another guy I want you guys to look at more is Rex Burkhead. I think he's a great talent, and he's a double handcuff. He's a handcuff for Gillislee because he will take over the starting job if Gillislee goes down, but he's also a handcuff for James White. I don't think Belichick has any more confidence in Dion Lewis after all of the fumbling issues, and plus with the health, they're never going to be able to utilize him in more than 2 carries and a few targets a game, whereas Burkhead can be a guy that they feed if they feel like it. He can be a guy that gets used in the red zone, and he can catch. So he can do it all. So I think with multiple people, it's not like a pure handcuff where one guy gets hurt, he's the next guy up. It's 2 guys. If either of them get hurt, he has an increased role, and he's viable in fantasy. And also there's the narrative that, is it possible that in camp Burkhead looks better? Because you know Belichick doesn't care. He doesn't care what he paid someone. He doesn't care what the media thinks. If he sees that Burkhead is better than Gillislee at what they're trying to do, he's going to use him. It's going to be very frustrating when you have Gillislee and Burkhead and White who to start. Very frustrating. We were gifted last year with, we know when the blunt games are coming. I'm not sure we'll be able to predict them this year. And that's going to be tough in DFS, but we're going to have to try our hardest. But I think Burkhead is worth a look late. So I think he should be going a little bit higher. But let's just run through the team. So what we would start week 1 would likely not... It likely wouldn't be Mixon. I would start, obviously, Terrell Pryor at quarterback. Then our running backs would be Freeman and Crowell. We'd have Julio and Golden Tate with probably Willie Snead or Diggs, whoever has the best matchup in the flex. And then we'd have Ebron at tight end with a stud bench. I mean, Mixon, one of the 2, Snead or Diggs, Emmanuel, Tyrell, Terrence West, Kenny Britt, Alvin Kamara, Burke. Okay. I think this is a really good team. Obviously, in 10-team leagues, it's kind of difficult not to draft a really good team as long as you don't take, like... I see people make the mistake, like, drafting a quarterback and a tight end early. You can do one. You could draft Rodgers early or Brady early or Breeze early. I wouldn't draft both. I wouldn't draft, like, Rodgers, Kelsey in the 3rd and 4th, because then you're really lacking depth, because then you have to make up the starting options later, which kind of kills your bench. So if you're one of those people who isn't going to stream, you can take a quarterback early. I like targeting Wilson in this range. I like targeting Kirk Cousins, but I generally have been drafting Tyrod or Phillip Rivers or Stafford, because this is the range I like, 11, 12, 13 range. I've been getting Ebron pretty late. Austin Hooper's an option late, but his ADP is rising. Excuse me. I don't actually see where he went, so I guess he didn't get drafted. You can take Rudolph middle. You can take Jimmy Graham. You can take Olsen, Kelsey, but I would hold off on taking a really high tight end and a really high quarterback. And then remember, we wouldn't have gotten this Alvin Kamara Burkhead pick if this was ESPN. I'm not sure what the other drafting sites allow you to do. We would have been forced to take a defense kicker, but if your site doesn't force you, then draft 2 more lottery picks, because, I mean, Burkhead is a great lottery pick, because who knows what's going to happen in preseason. Draft 2 of those guys, and then, you know what? They'll be the first 2 you drop. Also, another thing I want to talk about, getting a lot of hate. Darren made the top 5 overlooked players last Friday, and everyone's hating on the Kevin White selection there. And you guys have seen my mock drafts, I've yet to draft Kevin White. So it's not that I'm high on Kevin White. It's that, and I'm going to talk about this in the Thursday video, late round draft strategy. Let's say in the late round you drafted, I don't know, Jonathan Stewart, I guess. Let's say Jonathan Stewart. So 12th round you draft Jonathan Stewart. It's not the perfect option for this. Maybe Mike Wallace. We'll use Mike Wallace because that's basically where he'd be going. But I guess it could work for Jonathan Williams. So what I don't like doing in the late rounds is drafting someone who is going to be fine, but that I know doesn't have a ton of upside. Like, I'm pretty confident that Jonathan Stewart isn't going to be an RB1 as long as, and I'm not going to predict injuries. Like, I guess if someone gets hurt, yeah, he could be a 1. Or if everyone dies around Mike Wallace, yeah, he could. No, he's not going to be a 1 regardless. But if everyone dies and he gets insanely lucky, like, yeah, there's a world where both of them are 1s, but it's a very unlikely scenario. So, like, if McCaffrey goes down, yeah, but it's unlikely. So those guys are going to be on your bench, and they're going to get you a few points every week, and you'll be like, oh, cool, he's a guy I can just fill and get a few points. But that's not what I look for in the late rounds. That's more what I look for in the, like, this range, like 11, 12, 13 is kind of what I look for there. I mean, I drafted my tight end and my defense there, but, like, Kenny Britt isn't probably going to be top 5, but he's going to get me some points. I don't really look for that as much. Like, you see, the Burkhead pick has upside. The Kamara pick has upside. Like, he's going to get me a few points, but we've seen Darren Sproles be a running back 2. Like, if they use Kamara in the Darren Sproles role, he's got a ton of upside. So I like taking guys with upside. Mike Wallace doesn't really have that much upside unless everyone gets hurt. Like, he's going to be fine. And it's tough to drop someone who's fine. Like, you see what I'm saying? Like, early in the year are very important waiver wire claims. This is when you get Jordan Howard and Jay Ajayi and Tyreek Hill, who will win you weeks. So if you got Mike Wallace and he's getting you like 10 in PPR, you don't really want to drop him. And then you miss out on the claim. So, because who else are you going to drop on this team with Mike Wallace? You don't want to drop Duke. You're probably not dropping P. Ryan. Now you're going to like Garcon, Tevin Coleman. Like, the only player you can drop is Mike Wallace, and you're going to be hesitant to do so. But if you have Kevin White and he blows, and he's just pathetic, you're like, all right, drop, and I get the waiver claim. But at least Kevin White has upside. I mean, we've seen it for a few stretches where he was heavily targeted on a team that's not very good, and he was drafted, like, people were talking, he was the Amari Cooper draft, right? I think. And I'm pretty sure people were making comparisons like, I don't know who they should draft first. Like, he was a very high draft pick for a reason, because he's good. I know they're watching tape telling him that, because I don't know if he forgot that he's good or something, and they've been working with his stride because he, like, forgot how to run straight. I don't know, like, but if he puts it together, there's a small chance. I'm pretty sure he's going to bust, and be a bust. But if you can give me a 5% chance that he just explodes, I'm going to take that over Mike Wallace, because I know what Mike Wallace is. Mike Wallace is a guy who's going to finish as a probably not startable option, like a barely startable option every week. I'm never going to know when he's going to get, you know, the 70 and 2 touchdown weeks or the 0 weeks. I'm never going to know. So it's going to be super frustrating to own, but he's going to get points. I'm not going to drop him. Whereas Kevin White, at least he could go off, and then, hey, if he blows, then I'll drop him. So that's just my take on the late round stuff. But I really like this team. This is a team that I would target in a draft. These are all guys that I love taking. And I want to do that for the rest of these mock drafts. Do it 100% serious. This is how I'm drafting. So that's it. That is the end of this video. I do hope that you guys enjoyed both the draft and the take at the end. If you did, how about we hit that like button? And how about we subscribe if you're new? We're getting probably 7 videos a week, but who really knows? But that is the end of this one. Thanks for watching.